Hello, everybody. Good night. Sorry for the delay. I have to restart my computer exactly when I enter the broadcast. I'm very happy to be with you tonight. So my name is Manuel Bispo. I'm from the CAFA, Belgium, and I'd like to propose you a theme to reflect that I'm going to put here. Uh, The road of Damascus. What is your road of Damascus? I was thinking the last week, reading a book. I'm going to show you, and I'd like to just to put this subject to talk about, to think about this the rest of the days of this week. Okay, so what I want from you first is I'm going uh, to make some infos about the Nekafla, to make a short prayer just to connect our spiritual friends to be with us. And then I'm going to show you, and then we going to just to make a short conclusion. Okay, so just to tell you, I'm going to put more higher, bigger. So, guys, we are here in Brussels, in the Rue d'Albany, Saint-Gilles. We are still following the government directions. We are still limiting our activities. That's the reason we have most of our activities doing by remote. So we have now the systematic study by remote. We have fraternal services by remote. But I think uh, soon we'll be together to have this kind of discussion face to face. Okay. So also we have the talks by internet in Portuguese, French, and English. Okay. So we have this our workers studying, because for us it's important to study and of course to interact with you, even now if you are listening to us or after in our video in YouTube. Okay, so what I just to start, let's just to see these flowers, just to tell you the name of this picture, the author there is flowering in the desert. That's correct. This is a desert, but in the moment there's flowers. And looking this really beautiful image, I'd like to thank our powerful God, our Master Jesus Christ, and all my spiritual friends for this opportunity. First, to be here in this life with my family, friends, meeting all people I have to meet, to allow my learnings, and this opportunity to be here studying and discussing, working for to Nekafla more this message. That our spiritual friends could be around us, inspiring us, and reinforce our learnings tonight. Amen. Thank you very much. So, guys, what I propose to you today is really to tell you what is your road to Damascus. But what does it mean, road to Damascus? So I'm that's this. It's a very short storytelling, just to tell you what the meaning of this expression. Did you experiment your road to Damascus? What is the moment that you can say, yes, I was on my road of Damascus? So, guys, what I want to show you is this is this book. This book uh, was by Chico Xavier, a Brazilian medium, very hard worker. Surely he had his road out to Damascus in his last life here incarnated. But in the book, the book is called Paul and Stephen. In Portuguese, Paulo e Estevão. So it was a psychography from the spirit of Emmanuel. So he's the mentor of Chico Xavier. Then in this book, we can follow the history of the known Saul of Tarsus, known after as Paul of Tarsus, and of course in the Catholic religion, Saint Paul, Saint Paul. Okay, so this is it's a very brief. I'm going to give you just one spoiler, but it's a very interesting book to see with a spiritual view the history of Paul of Tarsus. So Emmanuel is very good written and with details, repeating some events that we see in the Evangel, the Catholic Evangel, the New Evangel, but also with some descriptions in what is happening in the spiritual part, or what is really the interconnection between the facts and the real task of Paul of Tarsus in his last life. So, what I in this book, so Paul and Stephen, there's the event named the road to Damascus. It was a very symbolic moment until today, when you say, "Hey, did you did you have did you find your road to Damascus, or did you experiment your road to Damascus, or can you identify in your life or what warriors road to Damascus?" But let's to explain you, or to let's say remember the what was this history. They're very short, just to tell you. Well, the first thing is, who was Saul of Tarsus? So, no, Saul was originally a Turkish guy. He was born in Turkey, what you call today Turkey, and he was born some years after Jesus was born. But Jesus was born not in Turkey, in what we call today Israel, but it was in Turkey. But in terms of religion, his parents, his family was Jewish, and also even they live in Turkey. They have the Roman citizenship. Remember, that time the Roman Empire covered most part of the East Europe, Africa. It was really the big empire. And of course, to be Roman at that time, it was really a privilege. And of course, as his parents had Roman citizenship, also Saul was considered a Roman. It was a very good, let's say, level in the society at that time. Okay? Oh, when he was around, I think, 5 years old, or was a child, his family moved to Jerusalem. And there in Jerusalem, Saul, that time it was Saul, and Tarsus was the city where he was born, in Turkey. It was, if you see the map, it was around here. And here is Jerusalem. Okay, here's what we call to Turkey, Syria, and so on. Damascus is there. Okay, so they stayed in Jerusalem, living their life, and Saul, he began to study the Hebrew scriptures, the Mosaic laws. Uh, he was studying since he was young. When he was around 35 years old, so Jesus was already dead, which was a delay. Uh, he became a high authority in terms of the Hebrew laws. He was really a very hard guy that he studied, really followed. He was considered an authority because he wanted to become a rabbi. And at that time, there was a very old man, a rabbi there, and in the book, there's a lot of participation of this guy, uh, and he was the tutor of Saul, and Saul expect to replace this very old man, the rabbi, in the future. So it was really a very famous, very known by the speeches, the strength, the power of his words to defend the old scriptures, the Mosaic laws, and the prophets, and so on and so on. So this is just to tell you who was that guy. That we say is a very religious man, a very authority, very young, very strong, very intelligent. He was born in Turkey, but he spoke Greek. He was mostly Greek and other languages. Very very intelligent guy, very high spirit that became here in our planet at that time. Maybe some guy from Capella, we don't know, but a very strong guy. So at that time, okay, he was a very strong guy, and at that time in Jerusalem was in, appearing the newborn Christian doctrine. Some guys, the apostles, that founded a small house. When they receive the guys, sick guys, hungry guys, to treat, give food to treat the problems. So very, very humble house. They give food, they give some comfort, some friendship, mainly because there was sick people that there is no treatment that time, lepra, and so the guys was there are somebody, the good guys, Christians, to treat the guys. And also at that time in this house, they start reading the teachings from Jesus. So what you call the evangelium, the good news. The first guy that wrote this, they make copies, manually copies by hand, and give it to the others. So what you call today the new evangelium, they had in some papyrus, not papers, but papyrus to write down, and then they make like we do today. When reading the book, I say like we do today the evangelium at home, and we open and you read and you reflect how we can apply this, how we can practice this, what does it mean, etc., etc. And then it was really increasing because there are a lot of people going there, and of course they have also what you call today the pass, to give to the guys the pass to cure, to alleviate the pain and so on. And of course Saul was a high authority in the other religion, and he started to persecute the Christians, to say, guys, you It's not according the Mosaic law. It's not according the what is written like this, like this, like this. The tradition, the movements. They have to pray on the knees to read the Old Testament. Blah 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 blah. Blah. So and one day he went there in this house. There are people is reading, and there was one new guy. It was not the original apostle. It was a new guy named Stephen. And Stephen, he was a very young guy, very simple, but with a very lovely guy, and his words during the speak the talks were really really famous, and all guys were there went there to see Stephen speaking about the learnings from Jesus. And Stephen didn't know Jesus, but he was really externalizing the feelings and the learnings from the from Jesus Christ. And at that time, he saw this guy. He tried to confront this guy, and this guy practiced the learning. Say, hey, no, give the other face. No, I'm not going to fight you. Okay, I'm telling this because it's the love. Take a look. Take a look. We are very simple guys, just helping people, the poor people, giving food and taking care. That's the learnings from Jesus. It's not the big church of all the richness. That's very simple. Is this, and of course, the authority of the future rabbi, he was very strong guy. Say, no, this is not correct. Don't do this. You are making some revolution here. It's not correct, and they start to persecute the Christians, and particularly Stephen, because Stephen was a really famous guy there. He persecuted Stephen until, with all the other rabbis and the existing church there and the Jewish guys, they end stoning Stephen to death, which was a kind of practice at that time. And the most important is the Stephen said he didn't react. He said, guys, my life is not here. I come here, it's just a mission, okay? You do this, I cannot fight you. I'm going to practice the same learnings and teachings from Jesus. Okay. And then here comes the spoiler that make Saul more and more nervous. Be prepared. After Stephen's death, Saul discovered that the Stephen was the missing brother of his future wife. And his future wife saw the guy that say, hey, this is my brother. And if my brother, I know him, he's a very good guy. But, and then it make Saul of Tarsus more nervous. Say, guy, this, because his future wife was very very upset with him. And then he discovered the guy who taught his future wife about the Christian's principles from the learnings from Jesus, and even was one guy that was hidden in Damascus. Damascus was around 200 kilometers from Jerusalem. And he got an authorization from the rabbis there and say, guys, there's one guy very dangerous. He's going to start this in Damascus. I take the role myself to go there. So I need some soldiers, so Roman soldiers, to go there and to try to find this guy and give independence. Because we cannot allow this kind of let's say revolutionaries to come here and make totally different to our traditions. So that's it. They gave them a group of soldiers to go and horses, and then let's go to Damascus. Let's find this guy Remember that time the cities were very small with a wall, so it's very easy to find somebody there. It was a desert around. So they got this authorization. And then had the event. During this trip, in the arrive in the gates to enter the city of Damascus, uh, suddenly he have he screaming, Saul fall off the horses and said, "What is this?" He saw a very big light. So this is we have several versions, but in book Emmanuel tell him that was we know today the one of the celestial body of Jesus coming, very high energy. Jesus is still there, working in some energetic levels, but the light was so intense that Saul got blind, both eyes. The interesting that the soldiers they say we saw a light, but we didn't hear anything, we didn't see anything. Just the Saul was very afraid and go down and start saying, "I'm blind." But Saul at that time heard, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" And then he there is other exchange, and he at the time he was very let's say uh, nervous and confused. What happened? This guy exists. This guy that is Stephen, that my ex-wife told me. The other guys during the in that's where they call church. They are saying that. What is that? And that time Jesus said, "You go to Damascus. Somebody's going to kill you there." And then he arrived there. He was to go there to a meeting with the other rabbis to say, "Guy, I'm here to persecute the guy that is a revolutionary and so on." But say, "No, I'm going to stay in a hotel to try to calm down. But I'm blind." And that time, one guy came to visit him, and this guy cured his eyes. And this guy was exactly the same guy that he was going to kill. Uh, and then it make Saul, which was a very intelligent guy, to try to say, "Guy, what is happening? I saw what I saw, I heard what I heard," and he started to remember what he came to do here in this planet at that time. So this was the event, Road of Damascus to Paul. Of course, I'm not going to go in detail. It's all the beautiful story from Paul. Before that, he was a very strong guy. He tried to say, "Guys, I saw something. There's the prophet came, is real." What the scripture was saying, that was new guys coming here to transform the planet, is true. The name is Jesus Christ. They say, "Guy, you are sick. There's something, you are nuts." The other guy said to him. And then he realized he had to prepare himself to his new mission, because he really was transformed at that time. He stayed in the desert. He started to working like to making fabrics. It was his first work, and he was young, and he started to simplify his life. So to meditate, to read and reread all the teachings from Jesus, the Evangelium. And after that, he came back to Jerusalem to say, "Guys, I understood. I saw Jesus. I had a message." And then he started to make his mission to tell the Evangelium the good news. He was baptized as he changed his name to Paul. So that's the name, the Paul of Tarsus now. And after that, of course, there was a long story of persecutions, infirmities, delusions, desertions by friends. He suffered several stonings. He didn't die, but was really, really hurt at that time. Imprisoned until he finished his task here in the planet. He transformed his life, working. He said, "I have to work. My, I have to work. What I believe, even with all the strugglings I have, because I believe this." And remember, he was a very, very disciplined guy at that time before. So he started what we call today St. Paul's and Paul of Tarsus. So just to tell you, I was thinking, if this guy is a special mission coming in the planet, he had the before and after here. Of course, he used very well the last years he had. It was 35 until, 80, 70, I don't know. But he stays still working, even with all the problems, working what he believed. Okay, because he understood we are here for a small time. We have work to do. We have a transformation to do. Prior, first our transformation, and then to role modeling to the others. That's it. Just to finish, we are yes, 6 minutes. I put here the preface from Emmanuel. When he starts saying, guys, I'm going to show you an history that you know already from the Bible and so on. But he said that the master calls Saul his realm of immortal radiance. Paul fumbles in the darkness of human experience and replies, Lord, what would you have me to do? Let me do. So they say Paul was in the darkness that all of us, we are in some part of our life in the darkness of our human experience. You don't remember the life before. We are here with our to take our decisions. And Emmanuel continues. Between Jesus and Paul, there was an abyss, which the apostle crossed over in decades of ongoing redemptive struggle. And this book, the objective is to demonstrate this struggle as an example of how much effort we must put in our own endeavor to meet Jesus. Of course, meet Jesus is to practice the teachings. That's what I understand as to meet Jesus. To understand the simple, very simple lessons, but very up to date until today, and very difficult to execute. Another purpose of this humble effort is to acknowledge the fact that the apostle could not have achieved his potential in his word by himself. Without Stephen, we would have no Paul of Tarsus. And so Stephen was the first and great martyr of the nascent Christianity. He exerted much more influence on the Paul's experience, the Pauline experience, that we could imagine, solely through the known text of the studies we have today in the Bible. So what Emmanuel said, guys, the Stephen has in the book, Stephen follows as a mentor Paul, giving him the support, the spiritual support, saying, "Go, guy, first I forgive you. Second, let's go, let's work together." So it was the description is very, very, very nice during the book. The lives of both men were entwined in a mysterious beauty. Of course, we don't know, but surely they have some past experience together, and they agree to have this also the second experience, that's beauty experience. The contribution of Steve and other personages of this true story confirm the necessity and universality of the law of working together. Alone, we are nobody. Yeah? Working together. And to demonstrate the breadth of this concept, we should remember even that Jesus, whose compassion power touched everything, sought the company of 12 guys, 12 helpers, the apostles, in order to undertake the world's renewal. Even Jesus he was not alone. He asked for help. Moreover, without working together, love could not exist. And love is the power of God that gives balance to this universe. It's a very, very powerful words from Emmanuel in the beginning of the book. And I read again when I finish the book. And I finish with this. Our roads to Damascus can be in any moment. Can be several moments. All of us, we have our Stephen. Some guy that apparently we are making we have some problems, but there is somebody that's going to make us learn, yeah? And to help in our inner transformation. Mainly to practice the law of love. That's the what we see in the world today, what we see around decisions made for the materialism, at the same time people struggling. So the law of love, fraternity, and so on. And the most important, we are not alone. We have to work together, help each other. That's my message for you tonight. I hope you can read this book. There are some you can match with historical texts we have, but it's a very beautiful in terms of the teachings of this real redemption road of Paul. Okay, so to finish, I'm going to come back in our garden in the desert, just to say that we are very happy to more one day in our life here in the planet. More one day that we can work, we can breathe, we can be with the people who have to be, and to say that all the learnings we can practice, and we know we are not together, or we are not alone, we are together. We are all together in this small planet, small and beautiful planet. And each time we have this kind of struggles, we know we can count on our spiritual friends, our families, to help us, to open our eyes, to make our inner transformation, and to use the opportunity that we are having in this life, in this existence. And with this happiness, let's vibrate to send good vibrations in like colors, waves of energy that is going to join surely others good vibrations to be used by the spiritual teams, spiritual workers working hard at that moment around the planet in all countries, in the hospitals, in homes, to alleviate the pain, the suffering, and to reassure each one with the drop of Jesus' love. Graças a Deus. So, everybody, thank you for watching. And if you are curious, take the book. We have it in our library in Portuguese. Very interesting. Have a nice week and bye bye. Ciao, ciao. Thank you.